Yes, guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to Shootout. It's been a few days, no Premier League football this weekend, FA Cup third round, always a big buzz, and an even bigger buzz for Younes and I. Chelsea 4, Preston 0. We are here to give you our thoughts together as a conglomerate of beings. Younes, how are you, mate? Have you had a good week? And are you as happy as me with a monstrous Chelsea win?
Mate, it's the Cup. It's the FA Cup. You know, this is where we got to start talking like this because it's the FA Cup and it's the Cup weekend. And anything can happen. Do you know what I mean? It's absolutely fantastic.
I do. I love it, mate. I think for me, there's nothing like the big ears. You know what I mean? You've got to lift that cup above your head if you ever get a chance to rob one from a trophy cabinet. I love it, mate. I do. I absolutely adore it.
All right, you come in as Phil Mitchell. I'll come in as Harry Redknapp. Yeah, how does that sound?
What's the other guy? I'm going to be Grant Mitchell. He had a bit more class about him, didn't he?
He did. Absolute hard nut. No, look, I'm good. Overall, I'm good. And I love the FA Cup. I think it's a great competition. I think it's a competition that is looked down upon now compared to how it used to be and what it really should be because of the prestige that it has. The oldest cup competition in the world. So I love when the cup comes around because anything can happen. And look, today, I think we got every single possible taste that you could possibly get on either side of the spectrum. We went through the first half looking like we were going to kill ourselves. And then the second half, we found all the goals and we finished the game 4-0, so now we're very happy. We've gone through every emotion, just like we do at Chelsea Football Club. This is the beautiful thing. If you're not a Chelsea fan, I feel sorry for you to an extent because you'll never experience this type of roller coaster emotion. You just wouldn't.
Just ticking on like everybody else, but we do it a different way, don't we?
Yeah, we do it different.
That's the craziest thing I think about this game.
Oh, you wanted me to keep going? No, I thought you were going to go on to something. No, you know what? You're right. Because if we're going to be clear and give the true picture, because the scoreline reflects how good the second half went, and that was fantastic, but not the whole game overall. The first half, after that end of the first half, I could not have told you that it finished 4-0. I was looking and going, my prediction of 3-0 is in the bin. I still think we'll win, but maybe this might finish 1-0 or something because it was just dire and slow and nothing was happening. It was just a snooze fest, right? And this is Preston, with all due respect, we're talking about. We go in at halftime, we're all looking like we're going to top ourselves. Then we come out in the second half. Once that first goal comes, and it comes, funnily enough, with a weakness that I feel like Port Preston had, which we didn't really exploit in the first half, because like I said, nothing happened. But they weren't really good in the air, and they were allowing a lot of space. Broja found that, good ball into the box, makes it 1-0 posting in with the header. And then we start going down that route, and you can see us starting to build up attacks. And the game opens up, and Preston start to just fold. And we're picking up goal after goal after goal, and it ends as a very, very good night at the bridge. So overall, very happy, and that's the context of it, really.
I think, like, in terms of like the happiness scale of like how Chelsea was scoring, I think when you go in at halftime, like you say, it was 0-0. It was a pretty big shambles up until that point. Like, I don't remember the last time that we were putting balls in the box and like getting headers consistently and scoring. So it was kind of like we killed two birds with one stone. We got rid of this little like weight on our shoulders of not being able to break down low blocks, not being able to break down teams that are literally happy to just sit in and defend. And we're scoring headers. And it's one of those where the longer it goes in that second half, where Preston are 0-0, the more like the spice and the magic of the FA Cup kind of creeps into the stadium. And as a result of that, it creeps into them where they can kind of like breed a bit of luck for themselves. Chelsea can maybe slip up, which is why Preston was always a banana skin being a lower league team. But like we quashed all of that in the first 15 minutes of the second half. And I think for me, it was the Thiago Silva goal where I was like, we can't lose from here. Do you know what I mean? Like 1-0, it's like, all right, we've been pretty poor, but we're winning. But when Silva comes on, it's just like, yeah, all right, I like that Gilchrist debut there, but this is still the guy. Do you know what I mean?
Gilchrist? No, mate.
Just unbelievable, isn't he?
It was you. You were on.
Oh, for goodness sake! You know what? I even managed to clip in my short video. I managed to get like the frame where I say my lookalike, and that's the thumbnail of my short for the 6 things we learned short. It may honestly like. I don't normally agree with any of the lookalike shouts that I get, just in life in general. Like I used to have Edin Dzeko, Simon Cowell. Like I don't know how many drinks you got. I think I look like him, but I don't get that. But this one, I'm like, I actually kind of see it. Like I can't not see it. Do you know what I mean?
Mate, it's completely you. It's completely you, man. And you know what? I said this earlier on. I was like, look, if George actually went on the pitch and played for Chelsea, you best believe he'd be doing the same thing. Buzz cut, black boots, breaking legs. That's it. That's George.
That's all I know how to do.
So, yeah, it's absolutely you. And the features are the same, man. He does look like you, so fair play.
I'm glad you say that he looks like me and I don't look like him, because I'm pretty sure I've got 10 years on the bloke.
You do.
So, like, this is good. He looks like me. He's copied me, I'm going to say. Alfie Gilchrist is me. Wants to be me. I want to be him. I want to play him right back for Chelsea.
No, but honestly, yeah, you're right. When you're taking that into consideration, Thiago Silva coming on, and funnily enough, when he got that goal, look at the way he got that goal, but he was unmarked. He come off his marker, no one was tracking, no one's following, near post, header, keeper too quick to see it into the net. And that was the point where, yeah, same here, I went, okay, this is done. Like, that,
yeah,
because it's Preston, and because they're mid-table championship, you just know they're not scoring 2 after going 2-0 down. They're just not going to, unless if there's a serious capitulation, which was just not going to happen. So that was the point where
I thought we looked pretty solid, not at the back, but like Petrovic looked good. He made the saves he needed to.
Yep.
Like I think there were always going to be those moments where their striker, he's big bloke, their striker, and because they're a championship team, they're going to come and try and bully players. Like, there were a couple of times where they did get in around the back because we were being a bit weak defensively. But I just think overall, like you say, from 2-0, there wasn't anything that we could have really done to screw that up. No. But, like, I made a point in my 6 things we learned. I put Sterling and Enzo in the last box because I said in that video that I didn't think they both played very well. I look back on the stats, and I think I got Enzo's very wrong. I want to know what you think about Enzo in particular, because I've kind of gone in on him a bit recently, saying that we need a lot more, and then people kind of get annoyed that we bring the price tag into everything, but like you kind of have to an extent. Do you think that was an Enzo is kind of back to fitness, back to controlling and running the Chelsea midfield? Do you think this is the time now where we could say and see in the next few games that midfield that we thought was going to be so dominant at the start of the season, is it time for that to click? Like, do you think Enzo was good today?
Honestly, I said it in my video and previous videos, I've not really gone in on Enzo, but I've started to highlight where I just don't think, I think there's a problem. And today I reflected on that again. I was like, no, I don't think he played well. I don't think he played badly, but it was bland. And I'm
in the same boat.
Yeah, I don't put that on him completely. I think it's the way we play and it's the system. And I think Poch and Enzo is like oil and water with the way that we're moving. I'm worried that for however long we're going to be with Poch, we won't see the best of Enzo. And especially with him alongside
Bro, you've
Caicedo.
opened a can of worms here because I agree. Yeah. I totally agree with you. I think you've literally hit the nail on the head there. Like, that's a clip in itself, what you've just said, like oil and water. Like, it's... And
he got the goal, and I don't fair play, but yeah, overall, no.
Yeah, I just think the in terms of like how you can pragmatically approach like solving the Chelsea issues, I don't think the midfield will be a priority for Pochettino, because I do think the whole getting fullbacks playing at fullback thing, getting a proper number 9 is the priority of like the order in which we should approach changes right now. That should probably come first. And then you're absolutely spot on. Like, the midfield is bland.
Yeah.
Like, even without Gallagher today, you're kind of like, well, okay, Gallagher needs to be in there to be pressing more, because in the first half it was literally Enzo and Palmer were the only players moving towards Preston players and actually pressing in unison. And everyone else around them was just like having a little jog. it was if it was flipping park run. And I'm like, no, this might not be the Premier League. There might not be massive bonuses on offer for winning a third round tie against Preston, but like, you've all got to flipping work.
Yeah.
But then, to be fair, credit to Poch, it did change in that second half. We were pressing more as a unit. I think as players started to move into their right positions, like, I didn't think Gilchrist was bad, but like having Gusto, who's a competent attacker at right back, when he was there for the last half an hour, like, we were creating so much more. And it just became so much more fluid when you've got players who are comfortable and confident to go forward, to actually go forward. So that very much helped the Chelsea press. And Preston kind of just like, all right, we're Preston. Like, you guys chill. Like, we'll try and keep the number as low as possible. But yeah, I'm glad we agree on the Enzo point, to be honest. But what about Raheem Sterling? Because again, for me, I just thought, other than that free kick, I'm like, what is he on? Like, what are you doing, mate? You got man of the match, bro. Like, how? I don't know.
I don't know how that's happened. I don't know how that's happened, mate. I spent prior to him scoring that free kick, every single thing he did, I was on his case. During my watch along and watching him throughout the entire game. And why? Because it's Preston. Like, there's an added thing here. It's Preston. We're not playing West Ham or Brighton, like I said. If that was the case, then at least to that point, I'd be like, okay, it's a Premier League side, and they're not a rubbish Premier League side either. But this is Preston. What are we doing? And when I see Sterling, he's losing the ball, he's running into trouble, he's asking for fouls, he's tripped up over someone's leg, he's asking for a pen. I mean, the whole shenanigans. And then he scores a free kick, which was a great free kick, and he puts it over the wall, beautiful dip, hits the net, wonderful. I'm not going to just go, okay, that one shot has now clouded everything and he's man of the match. Like, no, that's not how it works. So overall, you can say that even with the fact that we did make the subs that we made and Madueke had to come on, I would have wanted him to start, but we still managed to get that free kick. Sterling did score that, and then eventually we did go on and score the fourth, and it all was a nice day at the office. But Sterling individually, no. Not a good performance.
I think we're going to get absolutely toasted here. They're going to be like, how on earth can you guys just watch Chelsea win 4-0 and still complain? But I just think these are conversations that need to be had. They really do, because...
Yeah.
Noni Madueke has been in great form. He doesn't play today. Sterling scores the goal of the game. Like, does that mean now that Noni is out of the team again? But I don't see how Pochettino could actually vindicate and justify that. Surely that can't be the case.
No,
like,
surely.
I still pick Noni Madueke in the Middlesbrough game for sure, but Fulham in the Premier League next weekend as well. Noni is, for me, ahead of Raheem Sterling right now, and I think Mudryk is doing well. I think Mudryk worked hard today. I think he's doing a lot more off-the-ball stuff. He's really fighting to be in possession in the final third. If it isn't for Mudryk's work rate, Broyer's goal doesn't exist, because he gets in between those Preston defenders, gets the ball, gives it to Gusto. Lovely little touches as well between him and Gusto when Gusto tried to get forward in that first half, but Preston kind of shunned him out. But I just think, the Sterling and Enzo thing, it's so odd, because I don't really want to change my mind, but because they score goals and, you know, Enzo did complete 80% of his passes, which means he misses 1 in 5 passes, by the way. When there's so many side to sides, that's still a big number. Long balls, so many long balls just go begging in that first half. Definite improvements need to be made. But, Younes, there is one question that we need to know the answer to. Are Chelsea going to win the FA Cup, mate? Because I think we will now. After beating Preston 4-0, I am very, very sure that we are going to be winning 2 trophies this year. Maybe even 3. I don't know how we're going to get a third one, but I just feel like there will be something out there that we can win.
I know you woke up at 1 a.m. What did you have for breakfast? Did you have your dinner from yesterday, or?
I'll show you what I had for breakfast. Let me show you. I had this cafetiere right here, which is currently empty of coffee, but there's at least a litre of coffee in there. And a good old Balinese banana. There was one in here. It is now simply the skin, but I consume that. And
that's what's done it.
There was a little, what's it called? What are those things you get in those little Chinese cookie things that you have after you have a Chinese? Fortune cookie. That's the
fortune.
One.
Yeah. Oh, did one of them?
One
of them in a banana?
It says Chelsea might win the 4th round tie as well. I couldn't believe it. I've never seen a piece of paper in a banana before, but it did put everything out there into perspective. We're going to win the FA Cup, mate. I'm sure of it.
That's what's done it, mate. You've got to look into what was in that banana, right, and report it and not have it again, right? Because it might be playing with your head a little bit. Because
so you don't think we're going to win the FA Cup? Is basically what you're trying to say.
At the moment,
instead of binning off my banana, tell us why we're not winning the FA Cup. Don't be mean to my banana. No, come on, no. I take it all back. I'm digging a rabbit hole.
Stop talking. No, you know what? One step at a time. One step at a time. Because winning the FA Cup is not going to be easy. I know we've been on good cup runs and whatnot, but I would say that was a different team, different administration, different everything. To go on the FA Cup run is harder than the League Cup. There's more games there. You have bigger chance of facing bigger opposition down the line. There's more to do. And it comes at the latter stage of the season. We need to, see exactly where it's all going to go, who we're going to get drawn against. If we were to end up with Man City again, or we end up with a massive team or something, who knows? At our rate, the problem is, even if we were to play a standard mid-table Premier League team, that tends to be more dodgy than playing the bigger teams. So it's so unpredictable and it's hard to say. If we reach the quarter-final of the FA Cup, only at that point, I would be like, okay, now I can start talking about possibly winning it.
I like that. I mean, I actually technically don't think we're going to win the FA Cup from this position, but I do like to believe it, and I'm glad that Shootout is that channel where if I'm on a mad one, you can rein me in. And if you want to go on a mad one, Younes, I won't rein you in. I will join you on that train. I do like a good, fast-moving, high-speed bullet train towards just unfathomable levels of unnecessary optimism. But do you got any final words on this one? I think it's a great result. I think we should be happy with it. Definitely questions that can be answered to move forward, but we've won 3 in a row. Any final thoughts from you, Big Younes?
Well, the one final thought is that we could end up in a weekend where Chelsea have gone to the 4th round and one of Arsenal or Liverpool are getting kicked out. So who's getting knocked out and how is that going to go down? The final thought is to say that we are going to let you know what we think of that game after it's all said and done, and we'll see who survives.
Yes.
So, be there.
Absolutely. Stay tuned for Shootout. Arsenal-Liverpool, massive cup game. It could have huge repercussions. Arteta could walk after this. I'm telling you that now. Rumour has it that Banana has told me some more information. Mikel Arteta, if they lose 2-0.
You got to send me that banana, man.
Go on.
You got to send me that. Send me one of those bananas. I need to try them.
I think by the time it gets to you, there might need to be a few preservatives used on it to keep it at a level where it can still tell the future, the truth, the present, the now, and the past.
All right, I'll come to Bali. I'll come to you. Save me some bananas. I'm on the way.